I get a lot of requests about things, and the ones that I tend to go with, because I have to do it on YouTube, it's not an individualized session where I can just focus on the one person who's in front of me, but I have to make it more general. I also have to go by just what you tell me, so I don't get any chance to like probe in a little deeper to find out what's behind it. But I want to make sure that it's general enough that everyone can benefit from these rounds of tapping. And so this is a very common thing that comes up for a lot of people. So I'll read the request, and then we'll get on with it, won't we? And hello, GP. Thank you for your tapping session on your YouTube channel. They have been very helpful for me. I'm part of a spiritual community, and once a week we meet and share what has come up for us, our difficulties, insights, etc. I'm always so nervous, anxious when it's time for me to share about myself, my life, my points of view. The mind becomes overactivated and I forget everything I wanted to say. Fear paralyzes me and confusion sets in. Sound familiar to anybody? Anybody who's ever had to speak in front of any kind of group of people? I know the core beliefs are unworthiness and that I am rejectable. I'm afraid of what they will think of me or say about me. The fear literally freezes my brains out. There's also the belief I'm bad or I'm not good enough. I want to do some tapping on these beliefs so that I can relax my mind and my body more and not believe these fears and limitations. I'm done being run over by fear. Above all else, I do want to give myself permission to be me and to love me as I am so that I may enjoy interacting with others. Thank you, GP. I'm looking forward to doing more tapping with you. Namaste. That came from Diane. Okay, very good. Very, very good. Now, the first thing I'm going to ask you to do, everyone to do, who has this kind of problem that they're suffering with, they just kind of lock up tight when they have to express themselves in any format. It could be one-on-one. I got another one's coming up. It's more on one-on-one. In a group, in a setting when you have to speak or something like that. Public speaking is a very deep and common fear of folks, for the reason that there's a lot of overhead about it, a lot of fear of rejection, that sort of thing. What I'm going to ask first to all of you who are doing this is to set aside what you think the problem is. She says, I know the core beliefs are unworthiness, that I'm rejectable. Now, what I'd like to first do is say, can you just set that aside? What if you don't know what it is? What if what's there that's making this happen has nothing to do with that whatsoever? Now, it might, right? But the thing is with us folks who've done a lot of, self-development work on ourselves, is we've got a lot of ideas. And so something comes up and we assume we know why. And then we start digging into the why, and we if we can figure it out, then we'll be free of it. And of course, it actually doesn't work that way. So for a moment, I'm going to ask you to simply empty yourself of everything you think you know it is. Instead go, you know what? I don't really have a clue. I don't really know. I might even add, you know what? I don't even care. I just want to be free. Just want to be free. Like you said before, above all else, I want to give myself permission to be me and to love as I am. That's what you want. So let's keep attention on our deep, natural desire to be free. Right? Even the thought, I'm afraid of what they will think of me or say about me, is after the fact. The fear is there, and then we come up with the reason. The fear literally freezes my brains out. Now, that's an actual thing that happens. There's a fear, suddenly you can't think. The ideas, what you thought you were going to say, it doesn't come anymore. Right? And you want to do the tapping to relax your mind and body and not believe these anymore. So we can stop believing them right now, because truth is, they very well might not be true. And if they are, the fact that you saw that they are true hasn't helped in the slightest, has it? Right? So just let it go. Just let all that go. Remain just empty. Just you and me. Right? Now, I'm going to do something here because I think it's really important. I'm going to do a round or two of traditional, straight ahead, right out of the box EFT, just the way Gary Craig did it. I'm going to do a little test here. So I want you to start tapping. Everybody start tapping on the karate chop point and say, even though I lock up tight, my brain freezes when it's my turn to express myself, I deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway. Now, there may be a lot of resistance to that. You may feel, I can't love and accept myself anymore. There may be a lot of thoughts, a lot of feelings about it. What I'm going to ask you to do is to just put them aside and say it anyway. Just say it because you want it to be true. Check in later. Don't worry. I'm not going to leave you here. So, even though I lock up and my brain freezes, whenever I have to speak in front of others, especially speaking about me, my points of view, I deeply and completely love and accept myself as I am, despite the fear. So even though I'm terrified, I lock up, my brain freezes, I can't remember what I was going to say. Especially when I want to share about myself. I feel all this fear. I deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway. All right, just tap through the points with me. Again, if it was really hard to say that last part, I love and accept myself, just don't worry about it. It's okay. So, this fear of sharing myself with others, this fear of sharing myself with others, this fear that just locks me up, this fear of sharing myself. I'm so afraid of what they might think or how they react. I'll be rejected. This fear of sharing myself. I don't even care where it came from. I just want to be free of this fear. All right, stop, take a breath, and just feel your body right now. Now, you may not be tapping on this while you're in the circumstance with those people, with the people. Well, you're not. The spotlight's not on you. Right? So we're doing this just from our remembrance of it, which is okay. Right? That's what we have to do right now. But just notice how your body feels. So remember, this is a body-centered therapy modality. It's not really about the mind. So tap with me again on this. We're going to do this a little bit differently. So, even though I'm paralyzed by this fear, it just freezes me up, I'm open to the possibility that I could maybe love and accept myself in spite of it. Even though this fear is here, it's really overwhelming. What if it were possible that I could just love myself? Even while I was feeling the fear. Even though this fear is big, freezing my brain out, what if it wasn't actually a reflection on me? And I could love myself anyway. Would that be okay? Tap through the points. This fear. I'm choosing to set aside all of my ideas about it. Especially the idea, the belief, that it has to be gone before I can love myself. And especially the belief that somehow I am less than, inadequate, insignificant, because this fear is here. What if the presence of this fear did not in any way reflect on the quality of my character? What if I was actually already free of it? So it didn't matter whether it was there or not. I'd rather it not. I'd rather be able to express myself freely. But the me I want to express doesn't require the absence of the fear in order to be valuable. I'm choosing to let go of these beliefs that I'm rejectable, I'm not good enough, my perspective is insignificant. The presence of this fear doesn't make any of those true. I let go of them, whether the fear is here or not. I am choosing to disassociate this experience of fear from any of the beliefs that I assumed I had because the fear was there. What if the fear means nothing at all? I am consciously choosing to disconnect the two of those. I am choosing to allow myself to be free. Really free. Not free when the fear goes, but free whether it's there or not. Free means free. Not dependent on any condition, including this. I totally accept this whole experience. I totally accept it as it is. And I totally give myself permission to be free right now. Okay, stop. Take a deep breath. How's that feel? It's really taking all of that in. One of the things that can happen when we get really involved in personal development work, even spiritual work, is we can begin to think this mountain of problems and all these things that we have to deal with, I have to somehow vanquish, get out of my life, before I can be free, before I can be happy, before I can be feel safe and at home in my own skin. It's a belief. It's not true. That puts us in this never-ending fight with the flow of life, because there'll never be a moment when something isn't there, right? That we have the choice to make a debilitating problem or just something we have to deal with that has no reflection on me whatsoever. Take that to heart, my dear friends, and let me know how that was for you. And even approaching it in the very traditional way in which EFT was created, the way I originally learned it, even though I've gone off on my own a lot. So, on that note, I will take my leave of you, and please let me know how that was. Yeah, very, very happy.